New hire misses most of the first 3 weeks of work, then uses me as a reference. Let's call her Karen, just because it fits. She came in and applied for a job, and when I looked at her resume and application, I realized she knew some of my old neighborhood friends and schoolmates. She interviewed well, so I gave her a job. I told her to be in Monday at 9 a.m. Monday morning, she's not in. She no-call, no-shows. Tuesday, no-call, no-show. I had now written her off. Wednesday, she shows up about noon, claims she was in her basement Sunday night, and her brother was working out, and he accidentally knocked her out during his intense workout. She claimed her doctor told her she had a concussion, and she should stay home for a couple days. She had no doctor's note, no marks on her head, but thinking her story was so off the wall it could almost be true, I let her come to work the next day. She worked Thursday and Friday. We paid at the end of every week, and I gave her a check Friday. I also did not deduct the days she missed. She came to me and asked about the full paycheck. I told her we were a family business and realized people had lives outside of work. He tried to make sure people knew they were appreciated and tried to take care of our people. She teared up and thanked me and said we could count on her. She worked the full next week, did okay. She seemed to fit in. The third week, she showed up Monday, but Tuesday was another no-call, no-show. We did not hear from her for over 2 weeks. When she finally showed up, her story was the stuff of legends. She claimed her husband had forged divorce papers a couple years previous. Thinking she was divorced, she moved back into her parents' house. She claimed her ex-husband was at her parents' house when she got home the last night she worked. He told her he made up the divorce and the paperwork was phony, so they were still married and he wanted to get back together. She claimed she refused and he kidnapped her. She said it took her until a couple of days ago to get away from him. She wanted to come into work the next day. She did not call the police and he was not arrested. There was nothing in the papers or on the news about any of this. She was not hurt, thank God. She asked if I believed her. I did not, but I told her that I really needed someone I could count on, coming in reliably every day. I gave her a paycheck for 1 week. She had worked 1 day and told her I wished her good luck. I had already replaced her and her replacement was one of the best employees we ever had. Here's the malicious compliance. The next month, I come into a phone message that someone from XXX company called for a reference for Karen. As my secretary is handing me the message, she's laughing at the look on my face. I asked if she was kidding. She said she was not. She said she got a call from a man saying he was the owner of a company in the area and he asked about Karen. Then my secretary asked if she could listen in on the call. She then goes and gets my partner and tells him I'm going to call and give Karen a reference. Now he's in my office laughing too. I call the guy and we make some small talk. I tell him what we do and he tells me what he wants Karen to do for him. I tactfully avoided answering any of his questions about Karen directly. I think he was beginning to suspect something. Remember folks, employers can get in a ton of trouble for bad references. He finally asked my opinion of Karen and what I said was, if you can get Karen to work for you, you will be very lucky. He heard what I said and how I said it. He repeated that back to me exactly as I said it. All my words were the right ones. It was my tone and intonation that got my point across. He thanked me and hung up. Karen comes into the office a couple days later. She looks mad but is trying to be pleasant. She told me she is having trouble finding a job and mentioned she had used me as a reference. She wanted to know if anyone from X company has called me. She knew they did. She told me she really wanted the job at X company. I told her that I had been called and that I told the guy he'd be lucky to get her to work for him. My secretary confirmed that's what I told him. She told her she was right next to me during the whole conversation. Karen smiled and thanked me and headed to the door. She said she wondered why she was having so much trouble getting a job. She asked if she could continue to use me for a reference and I told her absolutely. I also told her that I tell everyone the same thing.